As this is the debate in the name of His Majesty's opposition, I think it's only right that I share some personal reflections on the record of the party opposite when they were in government. Now, I'm feeling generous, Madam Deputy Speaker. I'm sure the House will be pleased to know that this will be a brief speech, but I'm also feeling generous because I want to begin with 3 simple and constructive suggestions for the Conservative Party on its future approach to the European Union. Number 1, I think a good place to start would be by accepting that the Brexit deal signed in 2020 has done substantial damage to our economy. Fundamentally, it was a deal that put up barriers to trade. And as the OBR has concluded, the UK economy will be 4% smaller than previously expected. That means the country is on course to be £100 billion poorer than it otherwise would have been. I'm very happy.
Very grateful. It's not the first time this 4% figure has been referenced. Is he aware that was based on the assumption that UK-EU trade would fall and there'd therefore be a hit to our productivity? In fact, EU-UK trade has risen since Brexit, so the whole basis of that assumption is wrong. Will he please acknowledge that?
For his intervention. It's curious, isn't it? Because I have seen front benchers from the Conservative Party talking up the OBR when it's convenient to them, but actually on this case, when they don't agree with it, they decry it and say that we mustn't listen to it. But look, I think step 1, advice number 1, it's time to accept that it was a deal that made the country poorer and that it must be looked at again. Suggestion number 2, my second tip would be to apologise to the business community. He's no longer a member of this House, so perhaps it's time to fully disown the former member for Uxbridge and South Ruislip. And as well as saying sorry for his language towards the business community, it might be time to say sorry to the 60% of companies that have told the British Chambers of Commerce that it has become harder for them to trade as a direct consequence of the deal that was signed. Number 3. Now, the highlight of the speech from the Shadow Minister was his reference to Quantum Leap. He talked fondly of it, but I think it's time to jump back into the present. And my advice is that the party opposites should listen to more podcasts. And I know for a fact that the Shadow Chancellor and the former Chancellor, the member for Godalming and Ash, do listen to a certain weekly political podcast featuring the former Chancellor, George Osborne. And I know they listen to it because I've heard the voice notes they've submitted as questions in recent weeks and months. And I think it's an excellent podcast, Madam Deputy Speaker. But I fear that while Conservative MPs are tuning in, they are not really listening. Because George Osborne could not be more clear. The European Union is our single biggest trading partner, and if we're serious about growing the economy, it is time for a new and more ambitious deal. On this, he and his co-host Ed Balls are united, and they are absolutely right. Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm a pro-European and an internationalist. In my short time in this place, I've already had the opportunity to speak at greater length in other debates on why now is the time for a substantial reset in the relationship with our largest trading partner. Today, I will not revisit those arguments at length, but we are less than a week away from the UK-EU summit, and I am very hopeful that we will see a comprehensive deal that makes progress on security, trade, and a visa-based youth mobility scheme. This isn't 2016 or 2020, and while the Conservative Party in Parliament may want to replay the old debates, public opinion in this country has moved on. In an uncertain and volatile world, there is no more important relationship for the UK than the one with our closest neighbour and biggest trading partner. People want to see progress. They want to see a deal that makes a material difference to their lives. And I'm confident that is exactly what this Labour government will deliver, starting with the summit next week.